Welcome to your reset with Christiane Piano, where the purpose is to support you in releasing all that you are not, so the truth of who you really are can emerge. This is accomplished through working with the body-mind from an ontological perspective. We use various modalities to support you in supporting yourself exactly where you are, so that you may return to an experience of wholeness and ease, moment by moment. Deep reflection is one of the greatest tools through which to do this. To take a moment, to pause, assess, reflect, and literally and figuratively reset, come back to center, and move back into your one and precious life with increased clarity and purpose. Hello, this is Christiane Piano, and this week's episode is a reflection on presence. Presence is defined as a state or fact of existing, occurring, or being present. The focus here is on the be, which we will delve into further. Now, funny enough, there is another word in the English language with the same pronunciation, but yet a different meaning. Presence, as in gifts. Now, presents and gifts are both used and defined as something given as an expression of affection, friendship, interest, or respect. And we are entering into a holiday season where the focus is on giving and receiving presents. I could not have thought of a better topic for this week's episode so that you may support yourself during this time of year. After all, as stated by Dr. Marshall B. Rosenberg, PhD, the founder and director of Educational Services for the Center for Nonviolent Communication, he stated, "Your presence is the most precious gift you can give to another human being." When it comes to body-mind well-being, one of the core foundations to be cultivated daily is presence. Resetting and returning to a state of simply being. Releasing and letting go whenever you notice you are gripping, attaching, resisting, or resigning. As Eckhart Tolle captured so beautifully, presence is a state of inner spaciousness. Yet the conundrum of this season, and perhaps in your life in general, is that for many of us, life does not feel very spacious. During the holiday season, perhaps there is more travel involved, less sleep, increased spending for the gifts you would like to give or feel obliged to give out. There may be more social occasions which involve food and beverages and leads you to consuming more than usual, leaving you groggy and heavy. You may feel like you cannot say no to the invitations, for you do not want to disappoint anyone or leave a trail in the air of bah humbug. Then there is the matter of spending more time with your family of origin perhaps, relatives, and as you may find this enjoyable on one hand, You may notice that you find yourself triggered and left depleted afterwards. And to sum it all up, if you are spending more energy on outward socialization and family obligations, you may not be creating the space and time for self-care. So how does presence, your quality of being, relate to all of this? Well, as I am sure you have become aware on some level, being present without doing necessarily can prove challenging, especially if you have a mile-long list of things on your to-do list and people asking for your attention from your children, partners, spouses, family members, employees, friends, etc. And to add to that, we live in a world filled of distractions. The constant barrage of notifications, the lure of social media, and the demands of our increasingly digital lives make it harder to remain fully engaged in the present moment. Not to mention any challenges you are navigating in your life that create an experience of stress, concern, perhaps uncertainty. Then to boot, some of you may worry about missing out, and so constantly check devices and can become addicted to being on and digitally connected. In the end, to be fully present with those people who are most important to us takes effort, no doubt about that. And so what I am going to suggest here is that possibly you try on something different this holiday season. Or perhaps, if you have played with this in the past, you may decide to take it to the next level. I am personally inviting you to entertain the commitment to honing and channeling your energy this holiday season and in your life in general, moving forward, to give more weight and value to being fully present rather than giving a gift that can be wrapped up and put under a tree or wherever you place them. Jon Kabat-Zinn, an American professor emeritus of medicine and the creator of the Stress Reduction Clinic and the Center for Mindfulness in Medicine, Healthcare, and Society at the University of Massachusetts Medical School, so poetically touches upon this. He states, "Practice sharing the fullness of your being, your best self, your enthusiasm, your vitality, your spirit, your trust, your openness, above all, your presence. Share it with yourself, with your family, with the world." How about gifting all of that to your loved ones? I mean, when it comes down to it, some of you are walking love letters and don't even know it. You're lighting up rooms, shifting atmospheres, and carrying inspiration just by being you. It's not about what you do for others. It's about who you are being while you are doing those things. Gifting your full-on presence is something that is felt and reaches deep into the soul of a person and leaves them feeling seen, heard, worthy, valuable, respected, loved. But you may be thinking, with all that multitasking and demands on hand, sounds nice, but not very practical. And quite frankly, purchasing a gift may just be easier in some respects. Well, perhaps. And obviously, if you take this on for yourself, it is absolutely your choice. And you can use it as a way of experimenting in what actually becomes possible in your life as a whole, not just during the holiday season, but perhaps start there with baby steps. I mean, how many of you listening have children? A partner or spouse? Friends? Family? How many of you are in positions of leadership? And perhaps some of you checked all of the boxes. Well, the point is, if you would like to improve the quality of your relationships in some or all of those areas, the most fundamental skill set to invest in is your presence. After all, if you're not present, where are you? Somewhere in the past or future. And life in reality is always unfolding in the now. And if you would like to suck the juice of your one and precious life and live the days you were being gifted and share in this life with a sense of wholeness and connection, then investing in time and space to cultivate presence with yourself will support you in all of this. Many of us look outwardly for confirmation that we are worthy. But the thing is that any absence of self-love can never be replaced with the presence of people's love for you. And to teach your children to love themselves because they are worthy, not because of what they do, their grades, behavior, athletic or intellectual achievements, etc., but simply because they exist. To really teach our children this, we need to come from that place ourselves. What a gift to harness your child with as they go out into the world and navigate on their own someday. And if you do not have children of your own, perhaps you have a child who looks up to you for your guidance, whether you are a mentor, aunt, or a school teacher. And if you have a partner or spouse, imagine the relationship being based on presence, not what each one does for the other. Imagine if it is about a state of being, a wholeness. Imagine your relationships being infused by connection. And the beautiful thing is, presence is what creates that possibility for depth of connection. So the deeper you are able to meet yourself, the more fulfilling your relationships will become. And the time you are able to spend with one another will be rich and full, not placed on quantity, nor what you do, but on the quality and the richness of your being. The good news is, as stated by Roger Housden, a native of Bath, England, immigrated to the United States in 1998. He calls himself a lifelong student of the beauty of the word. The everyday familiar sense of self who lives in time, and that dimension, which we've called presence, that is always there. That is still in quiet. So funny enough, in the season of busyness and outward callings for your attention, which often lead to a lack of presence, there is something very simple you can do. Create the space, tiny chunks, even just 5 minutes a day, to sit in stillness and quiet. And breathe. Deep, deep breaths. Perhaps you find yourself taking a walk in nature, and you can choose a spot that takes your breath away and simply stand there and breathe. Pause. Be in the moment. Allow yourself to soak in the present moment. Feet on the ground, rooted in the earth, your body, the present moment, and breathe deeply. And allow yourself to simply be with all as is. Or perhaps you sit by a warm fire or by the ocean's edge, or snuggled on the covers on your couch in the warmth of your home. Just pause and be with yourself. As until you learn to cultivate presence with yourself, you will be challenged in simply being present with others. To be with ourselves allows ourselves to be fully present with others. So what are some of the things that keep you from being with yourself? The disturbances. What do you do to distract yourself? Take a mental note or jot these answers down, and then bring them to the forefront of your attention this season. Simply decide that you will consciously commit to cultivating presence with the awareness of your habits, and then carve out time and space to do so. Land in your body to release the accumulated knots in body-mind and come back to ease, come back to the now, and simply be. Yes, there are barriers, but none of them are insurmountable. You can release them moment by moment and reset. Being present takes work, but it's worth the effort. And then perhaps you may invite yourself in a conversation with your family, partner, spouse, closest friends, even a colleague, and have a conversation about experimenting this season and test it out together. Harness the collective energy to prioritize connection. And when you are with someone, really be with them. To help build your presence, set boundaries with your digital devices. Make an effort to single task rather than multitask. When in a meeting or a conversation, be fully present and avoid checking your phone or responding to emails. Create guidelines together and gift each other the greatest gift of all, being with one another fully and completely. And remember always that to do this, you will need to cultivate being with yourself on the daily, no matter how little time you have. Make that commitment to yourself and notice just how amazing you end up feeling. And then, when you are in the presence of others, watch what unfolds. There is a beauty in simplicity, and life can be beautiful without all the extras. So, no matter what you decide, please be good to yourself. And if you want to support yourself in exploring this further, I have added a special 2-hour online session for the holiday season. Join me and a fabulous group of people who emanate light into this world, just like you. The holiday season can be challenging to navigate. Join me for a special holiday session, Presence, December 1st, 5 to 7 p.m. Central European Standard Time. Sign up direct or reach out with questions. I hope to see you.